The vase comes off the windowsill slow, turning once in the afternoon light, the painted peacock flashing its gold tail before it meets the floor. It does not so much break as come apart, 3 big pieces and a spray of small ones, and the sound is enormous in a house that was quiet a second ago. This is Nana's vase, the one she carried wrapped in a sweater across an ocean, the only beautiful thing she owns. You are 9 and you threw a tennis ball in the house, and you knew you weren't supposed to, and now there is no taking the throw back. Down the hall a chair scrapes, and your father's footsteps start toward the kitchen, slow and heavy and certain. Your little brother, Danny, is 6 and standing in the doorway in his socks, and he has seen the whole thing. Your father fills the doorway and looks at the floor, and his face does the thing where it goes very still, which is worse than shouting. He says one word, "Who?" And it is not really a question, it is a door opening that someone has to walk through. Your mouth is open and nothing is coming out of it, and the silence stretches, and you can feel how long it has already gone on. And then beside you a small arm goes up, the way you raise your hand in class, and Danny says, "It was me." You look at him, and he does not look at you. He keeps his eyes on your father, and his hand stays up like he is proud of it. There is a scab on his raised knuckle from where he fell off his bike on Saturday, and you will remember that scab for the rest of your life. You could say it now. The truth is right there in your throat, one sentence, and all you have to do is open your mouth. You don't. Your father crosses the kitchen and takes Danny by the upper arm, not hard, but in the way that means it is happening now. Danny goes with him without a sound, his socks sliding a little on the tile, and at the doorway he finally looks back at you. It is not a blaming look, it is almost a reassuring one, like he is the older one and you are the small one, and that is the part you can't stand. The bedroom door closes. You stand in the kitchen and you do not move, and you count the pieces of the vase because it is something to do. Through the wall you hear your father's voice, low and even, and then the other sound, and you flinch at the other sound. He does not cry out, that is the thing. You are the one in the kitchen with the wet face, and he is the one in there being quiet. Nana comes in and kneels by the pieces and lifts the biggest one, the part with the peacock's eye on it, and turns it over in her hands. She doesn't yell, she just holds it, and she says, mostly to herself, that things made far away can't be made again. You almost tell her then, with the door still closed, with the sound still in the wall. You almost do. But it is already done, you tell yourself, and telling now would only make 2 children in trouble instead of 1. So you carry the pieces to the trash, and at the last second you keep one back, the one with the eye, and you slip it in your pocket. You share a room, 2 beds and a strip of carpet between them, and that night you lie in the dark and listen to him breathe. You whisper that you're sorry. The carpet between the beds feels a mile wide. He is quiet for a long time, and you think he is asleep, and then he says, "It's okay." You ask him why he did it, why he put his hand up, and he thinks about it the serious way 6-year-olds think. He says, "Because you were going to cry, and I wasn't." Like it was just math, the obvious trait. Then he says, "Don't tell, okay? Dad's nicer to you." And he rolls over, and for him, that is the end of it. You lie there holding the peacock eye shard under your pillow until its edge stops feeling sharp and starts feeling like part of your hand. Here is what you did not understand at 6 or 9, or for a long time after. A thing like that doesn't end when the bruise does. After the vase, it got easier for everyone to know which kind of boy Danny was, and which kind you were. You were the careful one. He was the one who broke things, and the story had been told once, out loud, and now it kept telling itself. When a window cracked, they looked at him first. When money went missing from the jar, they looked at him first. Sometimes he had done it, and sometimes he hadn't, but it stopped mattering, because the looking first was its own kind of sentence. And every time, some animal part of you went quiet with relief that the eyes were not on you, and then hated itself for being relieved. You started bringing home the good marks like a tax you were paying, straight A's, trophies on the shelf above your bed. His side of the shelf stayed empty, and you both pretended not to see the empty part. You told yourself you would pay him back someday, and you kept the someday in your pocket next to the shard, and you kept both for years. When you were 15 and he was 12, your father found a cigarette burn on the good chair in the front room. It was yours, you and a kid from down the block, an open window, a stupid dare you barely went through with. Your father stood in the front room with that same still face, 6 years older, and said that same word. Who? And you watched your brother's hand start to come up, 12 years old, rising on its own like a reflex he never got to choose. And this time you put your hand on his arm and pushed it back down, and you said, "It was me." Your father blinked. It did not fit the story, and he looked at you like you had spoken in a language he didn't know you had. The punishment, when it came, was nothing. It barely touched you, and that is how you found out how soft the world had always been on its careful son. That night, Danny didn't say thank you. He sat on his bed and looked at you a long time, and what was in his face wasn't gratitude, it was arithmetic. He'd taken the hit at 6 and learned its price. You took one at 15 and it cost you almost nothing, and he had always seen the difference. You wish you could tell yourself that fixed it, that from then on you were even and close, and the carpet between the beds got narrow. It didn't. Some debts you pay too late, and paying them late just shows the other person you could have paid them all along. Danny got older and stopped trying to be believed. If they were going to look at him first, he figured, he might as well give them a reason. He skipped school, he got into the kind of trouble that has police in it, and he moved out at 17 into a friend's basement across town. You went the other way, the way the story wanted you to go, a scholarship, a city, an apartment with your name on the lease. You called him on his birthday. He was polite, and that was the worst part, how polite he had learned to be with you. Polite is what you are with a stranger you used to share a strip of carpet with. You still had the shard. You kept it in a drawer now, wrapped in a sock, and you did not look at it, and you did not throw it away. Nana died on a Wednesday in the spring, in her sleep, which is the kindest thing the body ever does. At the house after, you and Danny ended up in the kitchen, the same kitchen, both of you taller than the windowsill now by a lot. Someone had set out her things, and there, on the table, in a shoebox, were the pieces of the vase. She had kept them too, all these years. She had never thrown them away either, 3 big pieces and a spray of small ones, and a gap where one piece was missing. Danny picked through them with one finger, and he said, quietly, "I always felt bad about this." And there it was, after 20 years. He still thought he had done it. He had taken the blame so completely that he had become the one who was sorry. You took the shard out of your pocket, the one with the peacock's eye, the one you had carried for 20 years, and you set it in the gap. It fit. Danny looked at the shard, then at you, and you said the sentence you had been holding in your throat since you were 9. "It was me. I broke it. I threw the ball, and you put your hand up, and I let you." He didn't say anything for a while. The kitchen was very quiet, the way it got quiet that first afternoon, 20 years and 1 second ago. And then he laughed, one short breath through his nose, and shook his head, and said, "I know. You said you didn't understand." He said, "I figured it out a long time ago, around when I was 10, maybe." He had known for most of his life that it was you. He had carried it knowing, and that was somehow so much worse than if he'd never found out. You asked him why he never said anything, why he let it stand. He shrugged, the same shrug from the dark bedroom, 20 years older and exactly the same. By then I already was the kid who broke things. "You being sorry now," he said, "doesn't give me back the version of me that didn't get looked at first." It was not cruel, the way he said it, and that was the part you couldn't hold. He had made his peace with it long before you found the courage to break yours. He helped you put the rest of the pieces back in the box, gentle with them, the way he was always gentle, even when no one was gentle with him. He stayed the rest of the afternoon, and you talked about ordinary things, his job, his girl, a car he was fixing, and it was good, and it was easy. But easy is what you are with someone who has made his peace with you. It is not the same as close, and you can feel the difference across a kitchen table. He took the shoebox when he left, said you'd had your peace long enough and he wanted the rest, and you let him. You kept the peacock's eye. He let you keep that one, and you think, now, that he understood you needed it more than he did. He lives across the country now. You call on birthdays, he's kind on the phone, and you are kind back, and you are both very careful with each other. Some nights you take the shard out of the drawer and hold it in the dark, and its edge stopped being sharp a long time ago. You think about a small arm going up in a kitchen, sure and steady, the way you raise your hand when you know the answer. He wasn't protecting you from your father, not really. He was protecting you from the thing you'd have had to know about yourself. And he protected you from it for 20 years, and the cost of it was that he had to know it instead. The vase came off the sill slow, turning once in the light, the peacock flashing its gold tail, and a 6-year-old decided in half a second to take it rather than watch you fall. You have spent your whole life trying to be worth that half a second, and you are not sure you ever managed it, and that is the part that does not heal. But you keep his peace where you can reach it, and on the bad nights you hold the eye of the peacock and let it look at you the way he did in the doorway, without blame.